Team Wildebeest has come up with a three-part solution to combat the lead poisoning epidemic in Kabwe, Zambia. This will be done through an active and passive approach. Kabwe is one of the top 10 most toxic places on Earth. A mine that opened early in the 1900s has drastically caused lead to enter the air and invade the community. Although the mine closed in 1994, lead poisoning is still affecting the thousands of people who live there. People are suffering every day from learning, growing, and performing everyday activities. The lead is causing problems such as anemia, reduced kidney function, cardiovascular diseases, reproductive problems, lowered IQs, liver damage, weight loss, hearing loss, and the list goes on. The problems of lead poisoning are preventing Kabwe citizens from rising out of poverty as it decreases their health, education, productivity, and work life. The first solution our group believes is important to help the people of Kabwe is through soil remediation. In Kabwe, the main causes of lead poisoning is believed to be inhalation or ingestion of airborne particles, dust from gardens and general play areas, food grown in contaminated soils, and dust created as people search the mine dumps for scrap metals. Several studies have shown that soil lead levels are linked to blood lead levels. Unfortunately, soil lead levels in Kabwe were 3 times higher than the US EPA standard, and in some areas, they were more than 1,000 higher than the standard. A solution to fix soil lead levels is through soil remediation, or removal of topsoil layer and replacing it with a new clean soil. In a pure earth project in Vietnam, this technique showed valuable results. They mitigated yards with soil lead levels greater than 800 parts per million, and found after a couple of months the soil levels decreased to 50 parts per million. Additionally, the blood lead levels in children aged 0 to 5 decreased by an average of 72%. This method can be applied to Kabwe. Since inhalation of dust in general play areas is a major cause of lead poisoning, remediation of the school play area and surroundings would be beneficial. The effects of lead poisoning on children are detrimental, therefore soil remediation in these areas would inhibit long-term effects. The second solution will affect the agriculture of the town. For agriculture to be a useful addition to our plan, we need to maintain budget and implement it in a way that would be safe to the people, as well as making sure that the money is used beneficially. In the topic of agriculture and the climate and conditions of Kabwe, it is important to take measures against the lead in the soil and find a crop that is well suited for the environment. To combat the lead in the soil, we would use an organic material such as oyster shell lime. We can mix this with the soil at a price of about $700 per acre. Having plants such as crops decreases soil dust, which lessens the effect of lead inhalation. In the climate of Kabwe, the conditions necessary to grow corn fit very well with the conditions provided from September through November due to the precipitation and temperature. We could plant the corn at a price of $400 an acre. In total, the cost to grow corn from September through November would be approximately $1,100 an acre for materials. The price of labor would go towards the community members and would only be necessary in the planting stage of growth. The final approach to our solution will be through educating the community members of Kabwe about reducing lead exposure and safety. With the remaining amount of money from our budget, we plan on training some individuals on the dangers of lead poisoning and how to limit its exposure, then paying those individuals to go into schools and clinics to educate the community, specifically children, parents, and expecting mothers. This will not only educate the community, but also create more employment. Lead typically enters the body through inhalation and ingestion. Once in the body, it is stored in the bones and travels through the blood, causing internal damage. Nutrition can slow this damage with 4 main nutrients that help combat lead exposure. Calcium and lead have the same absorption sites in the bone. Higher calcium quantities increases the chances of the binding sites to be occupied by calcium. Iron blocks lead absorption through the prevention of hemoglobin. Vitamin C is also helpful because it increases iron absorption. These nutrients can be found in dark greens, vegetables, dairy products, and meats. For the budget, we plan on spending approximately $15,000 for the soil remediation, $25,000 on agriculture, and the remaining $10,000 for educating the population on lead's effects and how to reduce exposure. With the 3 solutions in place, the lead levels in Kabwe should have a decreased effect on the citizens. Citizens will experience better health and development with the job opportunities and increased productivity. Kabwe has the potential for increased economic growth. Therefore, tackling the problem of lead poisoning in Kabwe through these solutions also will fight their poverty and ameliorate other health problems in Kabwe. Thank you.